Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. I am so excited to be with you today. So this particular episode, you get just me, and I'm excited to share with you about dreaming big dreams. And I used to dream big dreams all the time. I did everything that the experts talked about, and then my life kind of turned upside down. And to be honest with you, I haven't been able to dream big dreams at all. And so all of a sudden, I feel like things are starting to clear up a little bit. So I wanted to share about the big dreams and some of the big dreams that I've shared, some of the big dreams that I've dreamt that have come true. And I want to give you 3 really actionable exercises that you can do that can help your big dreams come to fruition. So as I said, this is really important to me because I believe that everyone has the opportunity to dream big. If nothing else, if you don't have anything else going for you in your life, you can dream, you can visualize, you can imagine. And maybe there's some things that you've already accomplished that were really big way back in the day, and then you forgot about them. Like you forgot that you did these really great monstrosities, that you built the business that you wanted to, you married the man that you loved, you got your kids through college, whatever that looked like. And I think sometimes those big dreams just become everyday occurrences because you're so used to them, and you forget then that just because that one big dream was accomplished, that you get another big dream. You can put something else in your heart. Well, for me, I used to dream big all the time, as I said, but the last couple of years, my dreams, I didn't really dream big, but I just had 2 goals. And those goals were, 1, to make sure that my son had a stellar high school career and that our organization stayed up and running after I lost my husband. And so the first year, I really concentrated. I called it my 2-prong approach. And I really concentrated on that big two-prong approach. That was where my focus was. In the first year, you're really just trying to get through, right? You got your head down. It's 1 foot in front of the other. I needed to make sure that I got up every day. My child needed to eat. I needed to come into the office. I needed to make sure that the everyday operations were running. And I was just trying to learn this new normal, which was single parenthood, which when I had a child and we decided to have a child, being a single parent was never anything that I wanted to, but I also needed to navigate my way through this world now as a single individual. When I married my husband, I married my best friend, who then became my business partner, and then we parented our son together. Well, all of a sudden, when my husband died, I had to learn all of this by myself. So the first year post-loss, that's what I did. I just kept my head down and figured out what I needed to do today. I couldn't think about where I wanted to be a year from then. I couldn't think about where I wanted to be 5 years for them because the world that I had come to know completely changed. I dated my husband for 14 months. We were engaged for 14 months, and then we were married for 23 3/4 years. So it had been 26, 27 years since I had walked on the face of this earth by myself. So the first year, I just needed to figure out what to do, and all the suffering and the crying would go by the wayside. So for me, the second year was really way worse than the first year. And I never thought that would happen. I really thought that something magically would happen and I would wake up on the June 27th, because the 1-year anniversary was June 26th, and I would wake up on the 27th and everything would just be different. That the pain would go away, I wouldn't cry anymore, and that didn't happen. But also what I didn't realize was that the second year for me was much more difficult than the first year. And I'm not sure whether it's, I guess what I believe is the permanence of Mike's absence became more apparent to me. Every day he still wasn't home. Every day he still wasn't riding in the car with me. There were sporting events of our sons that I was still going to by myself. But what was interesting was everybody else went back to their normal life. And my normal had been turned upside down. So I was trying to find my new normal. So that second year, I feel like I walked around in a fog. That's basically the only way that I can describe it. And 1 minute I'm okay, and then the next minute I felt like I was going to cry. So this year, when we celebrated the 2-year anniversary of my husband's loss, we always do something to commemorate the year that he left us, or the day that he left us. And so I feel better now because I feel like the life that I've lived these last 2 years, I've honored Michael in every single way. Our child has done an amazing job in his high school career. Our business is flourishing because these are all the things that Michael would want us to do. I follow a blog called One Fit Widow, and there's a tagline at the bottom of her blog that says, "You are still here for a reason." And so every day I try and ask, all right, what am I supposed to do today? What is that reason that I'm still here? I wasn't the one that left this world. Michael was. But it's just because he's gone doesn't mean we can't remember him, we can't celebrate him, and we can't live on. And so to this point, I didn't feel like I could set any big goals because I just needed to connect with my two-prong approach. But now all of a sudden, I feel like I can. I feel like some of that fog is lifted. You know, there's a song that says, I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. I feel like some of that rain is gone and that I can set a few goals that I really want to attain. And so I want to share with you some of the things that I have done in the past and what I'm currently doing to re-engage with those goals and some of those big dreams that I had forgotten about because I was knee-deep in grief. But I really think in my heart of hearts that Michael would want us to continue to move forward. He wants us to be successful and he wants us to live the best life that we can. So one of the things that I started, the very first thing that I did was I had to figure out what my goals are. So when we did our goals together. Well, it's not together anymore. So some of the goals that Mike and I wanted together have evolved now. They've changed a little bit because it's just me. I don't have that spouse. And so I have to figure out the best way and take some of the goals that we had together and now make them and turn them so that they'll fit the life that we have right now. So you have to write your goals down. But not only do you write your goals down, but you have to write down why you want to achieve them. Why are they important to you, right? Because you have to be specific. So let's just say that, as all of us women do, I want to lose weight. So if I just write down, I want to lose weight, I could lose 1 pound and say I've achieved that goal. But that's really not what it is, right? Say I want to lose 50 pounds and then I need to set a date. I want to lose 50 pounds by next year at this time. And then you can come up with a plan. But because that's more specific, you're going to have measurable results because you're going to know that if I want to lose 50 pounds by next year at this time, by Christmas, I need to have 25 pounds off. And your results are going to be measurable. But don't write them down and forget about them. You want to make sure that you keep them in front of you every day. I read or listened to the book by Rachel Hollis called Girl Stop Apologizing. And in that book, she talks about that every single morning, one of the first things that she does, her morning rituals, is that she writes down all of her goals every single day. Think about what that would do to you. Let's say that you just set 5 goals for yourself. And every single morning you got up and you wrote down those 5 goals. You're starting your day off with the focus where it needs to be. You're focusing on what you want your goals to be. You're not letting somebody else kind of rule your life or you're not living somebody else's agenda. You're living your agenda because today I wrote my goals down and I know exactly what it is that I'm going to focus on. And there are things that I can do today that are going to help me achieve those goals. The second thing that I would suggest is to do a vision board. Sometimes it's not enough just to write your goals down. You need to see. A picture speaks 1,000 words. That's what they always say. Every year in January, Michael and I used to, and I've continued the tradition, we take the executive team of Hello Gorgeous on a retreat. And we lock them in a hotel for a whole weekend. They come on Friday night and they don't leave until Sunday. And during that weekend, we work on goals for the organization. We work on strategic planning for the organization. But I also want my team members to set goals because selfishly, if they're better people for themselves and happier people in their lives, then they're going to be better for their organization. But what I've loved is we've done this with vision boards. So they write down their goals. First, they write down their goals from last year and then they grade themselves. How did they do on achieving those goals? And then they write down new goals and then they create a vision board. Not only do they create a vision board for this year, they bring the vision board from the previous year. And it's so amazing and incredible to see them bring these vision boards back where they've actually crossed things off. Big X's through trips to Disney and cars that they wanted and, you know, new patios that they wanted for their homes. Whatever that looked like, they've achieved these goals. And we get to celebrate that because that's one of the most important parts. It's not just about being able to achieve that goal, but then you have to celebrate it. So I want to encourage you, don't just write your goals down, actually do a vision board. Google makes it amazing. We used to, remember as kids, when we would have to do a collage, we'd have to sit through and sift through all the magazines and cut out your favorite places or whatever it was that you'd want to put on your collage. Now you can just go to Google and Google whatever it is that you want. And if it's a trip to Disney, if it's a new car, you can even find the make and model of the car that you want. Print it off, cut it up, glue it to a big piece of paper, and put it somewhere where you keep it in front of you every single day. You know, Anthony Robbins, I love Anthony Robbins. And and I'll tell you more about why I love Anthony Robbins in my next hint. But I love Anthony Robbins. And so he said, it's what you focus on that you get. So if you were to close your eyes right now, actually, first of all, look around the room and look at everything that's red in whatever room that you're sitting in, right? Just look for everything red. And if you closed your eyes and then tried to tell yourself, or somebody asked you what was brown in the room, you wouldn't be able to tell them because you were too busy focusing on what was red. And so it's the same thing with your goals. What you focus on is what you achieve. So make your vision board and then put it someplace where you see it every single day so that you have to look at it. And you don't necessarily need to understand or figure out how those things are going to come to fruition. It'll just happen. So like with this podcast, this radio show that I have, it was on our crazy cool goals for 2019 for us to have our own podcast, because we felt like we had such a message to share with women battling cancer and the stories of the women that we've learned and that we've grown to know through the makeovers that we've done. But we wanted to really inspire people, so we wanted to do this. I knew that that's what I wanted to do, but I had no idea how to do it. We attempted it. I bought the microphone and I got the computer and I downloaded a couple of different apps to see what I could do. And then I was asked to be a guest on Mama Bear Domita's show, who is also on Society Bites Radio. And the producer heard me as an interviewee and offered me my own show. And it was on my list. It was on our goals. And I didn't have to try and figure it out on my own. I just needed to be present and I just needed to take a step. And the rest is history. That's why we're there. So do your vision board and put it up where you can see it every day. So the next part of that is, the second thing is to make sure that you believe that it will happen. And you need to talk about it, because what you focus on, you'll receive, just like we talked about with the vision board. So let me tell you a little bit about what happened. So back in, I think it was 2011, maybe, my husband and I decided to attend one of Anthony Robbins' seminars. It was out in Los Angeles, California. And it's a 4-day seminar. You fully immerse. You're exhausted. He gets you going from 9 o'clock in the morning. And we weren't out of the Coliseum where we were at till sometimes midnight. But the very first day, they condition you so that you can do a fire walk. And I thought, there is no way. I cannot do this. But I played along and I thought, all right, you know what? Put the negativity out of your mind. Let's say you can do this. What if it truly is that you can walk on fire? So you do the exercises and you're fully immersed all day long. And then they take you out to this big parking lot where there are pads, and this fire has been brewing all day long. And there's different lanes of these coals that are on fire. And they have drumming music playing in the background, and you step up and it's your turn to walk on fire. And as you're walking on fire, what they tell you to do, what I recited in my head was cool moss, cool moss. So I wasn't saying, oh my gosh, I'm getting ready to walk on fire. I tricked myself into saying that what I was getting ready to walk on was cool moss. And so, okay, I almost chickened out. Actually, we had a team member that was there, and I just said, I can't do this. And they said, yes, you can. Put yourself in state. You can do it. And so I put myself in state. I recited. I was chanting cool moss. I got all the way off to the other side. They rinse off your feet, and it was done. I literally walked on fire because I was able to tell myself that I could do it. I did. And I believed that I could do it. Now, there were some people that didn't believe they could do it. There were a couple people that had gotten burned. But they had embers in between their toes. And so once they had gotten off of the fire, they came out of state, and however that mental stuff works. But what I want you to know is that you can talk yourself in and out of anything that you want to. So I was able to talk myself into being able to walk on fire. And I'm so glad that I did. I actually went up and thanked the team member the next day for really encouraging me and staying with me and not allowing me to give up, allowing me to have that little bit of doubt, but then encouraging me with the word that he needed to so that I would go and walk on fire. One of the other stories that I want to tell you is that you have to talk about what it is that you want. So when Hello Gorgeous was first put on my heart, I knew that I wanted to have this beautiful mobile day spa, this elegant palace on wheels that would pull up just a few feet from these women battling cancer and treat them like a queen for a day. And I talked about this over and over and over again. The very first mobile day spa we bought ourselves. We paid cash for it. We paid cash for the renovations. I'm grateful to be able to say that we're a debt-free ministry. But she was starting to show some signs of wear, and we didn't have any more money. We had spent all of the money that we had on this first mobile day spa, and she had some water damage, and we took it in. And even though she only had like 35,000 miles on her, when we took it in to have her service, they just said, you really need to start coming up with other options. We had no idea what we were going to do. So we prayed, and we went out in the middle of winter, and Mark Batterson has a book called The Circle Maker. He's a pastor of the National Community Church out in Washington, D.C. And we read the book, and he talked about just circling God's promises in prayer. Well, this was a calling for me. When Hello Gorgeous came on my heart, this was a calling. This isn't anything that I would have ever thought that I could do myself. And so we went out to the bus and we circled it in prayer and said, all right, Lord, this is yours. You know what we want. We want this elegant mobile day spa. You know what's on our hearts. We need for you to make it happen. Well, we kept talking about it and telling people about this mobile day spa. Well, I was on LinkedIn, and we got a phone call from a gentleman that actually saw my LinkedIn page and saw what we did and asked if we were still in business. And I told them yes. And he wanted to know how our mobile day spa was, and we told her that she was experienced. And so he explained to us that he was the plant manager at Monaco Coach, and he wasn't sure what he could do for us, but that he wanted to try and do something. Well, I had this dream that I would talk about all the time. And I said, wouldn't it be cool? I live close to Elkhart, Indiana, which is the RV manufacturing capital of the world. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if somebody came and they kidnapped our mobile day spa and they did a makeover on our mobile day spa. And at the same time, there was a woman battling cancer that was on the production line at this RV company, and that we would kidnap her and do a makeover on her, and then both would be revealed. We would reveal the gorgeous woman after her makeover, and they would reveal my bus. Well, I talked about that as if it had happened, and I would tell people that that was my dream and that's what I wanted to make happen. And you know what? That's what happened. They came, they kidnapped my bus, they took it into Elkhart, they revamped it all over. The morning of the big reveal of the bus, we kidnapped a woman off of the production floor at an RV company. We drove a limo right onto the production floor, kidnapped her. My late husband said it looked like we were kidnapping her for money. He missed it. We were going so fast. And so we put her into the limo, took her to a salon in Elkhart. We did the makeover on her and brought her back and did a big reveal on her. And there were 500 people in the audience to give her a great big Hello Gorgeous. Well, then after that, then the audience gave me a great big Hello Gorgeous, and they revealed the first bus to me. And I said first. And so it was beautiful and it was amazing, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. And so they kept hurrying me through to see all the renovations, and they wanted me back on stage. And so when they got me back on stage, they told me that this mobile day spa they had named Hope because they thought that that's what we had given to people was hope. But they didn't think that it was faith that brought me here. They thought it was faith, and that it was faith that continued in the work that we do. And they wanted to introduce me to faith. And in pulled this $250,000 vehicle that was made into a second mobile day spa that was bigger than my wildest dream. If you want to see the video, it's absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that they captured it. You can go to YouTube and search Hello Gorgeous and Monaco Coach, and you can see the video, and it's phenomenal. Now, the story that's not told in that video is that these people that were in the audience were actually let go. This was their last day at this production plant. And each of those 500 people had punched out for the last time. But this is what they were able to remember, was that they helped with something amazing. So not only do you need to write your goals down and create a vision board, but then you need to make sure that you talk about it. Believe that it's truly going to happen. And the third thing that you need to do is you need to schedule it. You need to make time every single day to make sure that you're working on your goals. You know, I ran a successful business as a hairdresser for 30 years, and I lived by a schedule. But in my day-to-day business now with Hello Gorgeous, it's really hard for me to live by a schedule, and I need to go back to that. So I'm telling you some of the things that I need to work on myself. You need to make sure that you're putting time in there every single day to work on your goals. Make a promise to yourself. They talk about putting the big rocks in your schedule first, and then there's time for the little rocks. You need to write down, what are your big rocks? What do you need to do today that tomorrow you're going to thank yourself for, because you were able to get down? He knew in the heart of hearts that he was supposed to win the lottery. And so he prayed every day to win the lottery. Well, unfortunately, this man went to his death and he never won the lottery. So when he got to heaven and he got to the pearly gates, he was talking to God and he said, I don't understand. I prayed to you every single day that I wanted to win the lottery. And God looked at the gentleman and he said, you needed to meet me halfway. You had to go buy the ticket. It's just like with us. We can believe it. We can dream it. We can write it down. But if we don't schedule it, if we don't make time to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to achieve our goals, other things are going to come in the way. People don't necessarily want to see you achieve their goals. They want you to help them achieve their goals. So you need to make sure that you get that schedule tight so that you've got time for yourself and that you're the ones that are making things happen. And you believe it and you get a little divine intervention and it'll be amazing, 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 the dreams that will come to pass. So you need to make sure that everything inside of you that you have, that you could make your dreams come true. And you need to put them on the schedule. So say you want to lose weight. You need to make sure that you're doing the meal planning, that you've got to write meal planning in your schedule. If losing weight is one of the goals, then you need to make sure that you put going to the gym on your schedule. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. I have to go to the gym in the morning because if I don't, too many things get crowded through my day. And everybody else's emergencies become my priority. And my gym time goes out the window. So we are almost out of time today. I hope this has helped you. I hope I've inspired you to create a vision board and go after those big dreams, because there's enough big dreams in this world. Everybody can achieve their own big dreams. And just think about what happened. If everybody achieves their dreams, what a wonderful, wonderful place it would be. So if you have any questions or comments or would like to know more about me or for more information about Hello Gorgeous, feel free to contact me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org or visit our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. We invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or even download our mobile app. And if you know a woman battling cancer, we have resources on our website that I'd like to share with you. I've written a book called I Promise to Put My Lipstick On When I Get There. It's a glamour how-to guide for any woman battling cancer. And I've also created an online course that will walk a woman battling cancer step by step on how to deal with the side effects of her cancer treatment. And you can find both of those resources on our website. Thank you again for joining me on Hello Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. And until next time, stay gorgeous.
Another beautiful day, walking in the sunshine, spending the time with you. Last night we had a good time, dancing in the moonlight and loving the night away. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like without you. I can't imagine that.